आप लोगों ने इतना इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया, you all made a madman. Hello and welcome to Avyan IAS Academy. Today we'll be taking up comprehensions and we'll be taking up 4 short passages which you will start reading and then we'll attempt questions from them. So, please. The first passage, which begins with the responsibility. This is the first passage we are taking up for today. If anyone else has figured out, you can start reading. The first passage. Should I? Alright. The first passage says, those responsible for teaching young people have resorted to a variety of means to make their pupils learn. The earliest of those was a great threat of punishments. This meant that pupils who were slow, careless, or inattentive risked either physical chastisement or loss of some expected privilege. Learning was thus associated with fear. At a later period, pupils were encouraged to learn in the hope of some kind of reward. This often took the form of marks awarded for work done and sometimes of prizes given at the end of the year to the best possible scholar. Such a system appealed to the competitive spirit but was just as depressing as the older system for the slow pupils. In the 19th century sprang up a new type of teacher, convinced that learning was worthwhile for its own sake and that young pupils' principal stimulus should neither be anxiety to avoid penalty nor ambition to win a reward, but sheer desire to learn. Interest, direct or indirect, became the key word of instructions. So, would someone try and make an attempt at what you understand from what I read right now? Would you all want a bit of time? Okay. I'll give you around 5 minutes and give me a rough idea. I'm not asking for everything, just a rough idea about what you understand from the passage. For example, if I have to ask you to title the passage, how would you want to title it? Give me that rough idea. Ways of learning, yes. Little more than that, ways of learning certainly, but is it just about the ways of learning, or is it about the change in the ways of learning? Change in the ways of learning, right? So is it just about the change in the ways of learning, or is it also in the change in the ways of teaching? Certainly, it's an entire process which includes learning, teaching, reading, writing, memorizing, all of it. So now how would you want to classify the title? So how would you want to classify the title? Or it doesn't have to be a title. You can just give a rough idea about what this means and ask me the meanings of the words which you don't know. So chastisement means to, for example, you are being chastity means the purity of something. So chastisement or punishment means आप कुछ गलत कर रहे हो, उसके लिए आपको सजा दी जा रही है ताकि आप, I mean, it's like retribution for a punishment. All right, next, what are the other words which you all want to ask the meaning of? Before you all go into the passage, what are the other words that you all want to ask the meaning of? Stimulus means to, for example, if I prick you, you will feel the pain. So the prick is the stimulus. Something that begins or initiates something. That's the stimulus. Stimulus to something. Respond. Sheer desire means just the desire to learn. Sprang up, निकालना किसी जगह से, I mean suddenly come up. For example, if you give a sentence like there was the deer sprang up from the bushes, मतलब the deer was there in the bushes, it suddenly leaped up from the bushes. Chastisement means आपको किसी भी गलती की सजा दी जा रही है. Chastisement or punishment for something. For example, you did something wrong and आपको एक lecture दिया जा रहा है like why you shouldn't do that. That is the chastisement or punishment. Once more please. Sheer, by the sheer desire of teaching, matlab it's just for the sake of something. Sheer desire means sheer desire for of learning, teaching, going somewhere. It means just by the desire of the same thing. All right, so now who will give me a quick summary of what you understand of this? Mhm.
Days or the day that the teachers used to learn pupils.
Used to teach his pupils or teach his or her pupil, yes.
Earlier times, he or she uses and for 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 his pupils for doing their work. But as the time passes, there is a certain change the way of learning.
Yes, yes.
It introduced prizes and awards for their works.
Yes, yes. Prizes and awards which we see in school even now, isn't it? When you do something, the teacher praises you. When you do something bad, the teacher is like scolds you. You shouldn't do this. And then we also used to have like we were divided. The class was divided into houses, isn't it? Ki if this house does something good, if this house does something bad, you all are rewarded with stars or marks out of 5, out of 10. So yes, and then
which works as a stimulus for the pupils for
yes,
working more and more for their own
yes,
fulfillment.
yes, certainly. Then or what kind of new ways of teaching are they talking about? What else are they talking about?
Providing them marks.
Yes, providing them marks for their work. So only providing marks, or do you think that something else is also needed? Or भी कुछ? Okay. और chastisement or punishment का क्या? You
Punishment
हाँ,
से इतना अगर effect नहीं पड़ पाता
उस वजह से रिवॉर्ड और ये सब दिए जा रहा है. Right. Okay. So now if we go to the first question, the education system which caused the fear in the pupil's mind was based on
punishment.
right. If we go to the second one, the system based on reward satisfied all except the slow. So what's the difference between the slow people and the casual people?
Casual is the average student.
हाँ, casual is like जो someone who is going with the flow, जो ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं, जो भी हो रहा है उस पर ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं. And the slow people are like people who are yes, go ahead, finish. They are willing to learn, but capabilities maybe are not that high. So they are the slow pupils. So in this new system क्या हो रहा है? Is everybody benefiting from the new system, or is it like the selected few who are benefiting from the system?
Selected.
Right. And who are the ones who are benefiting?
Very intelligent.
The intelligent people.
The one who was
Yes.
scoring best were betting.
जो लोग अच्छे कर रहे हैं वो लोग और भी अच्छे कर रहे हैं, and the ones who are not doing as good are slowly seeming down and down, right? Right. Okay. So now comes the next one. The system which appealed to make the competitive spirit in the pupil was largely based on right. So would you think cash prizes would work there?
Yes.
You think that would work, right? It would have been lovely, no? If you could do something good and our teachers could give us pocket money. That would have been lovely. In fact, yes, I would so pitch for that. Right. Yes?
Title can be taken as learn and earn.
Title can be taken as learn and earn. Right. So, तब तो वो debate ही नहीं रहेगा ना? We learn to earn or earn to learn. Isn't it? So, it's always like you learn and earn side by side, isn't it?
Get rewards
in rewards in any sense, right? I mean, we used to do that in schools also. The houses were divided and out we were given stars, isn't it? Like out of 5 stars, you get 3 stars for this, 2 stars for this, 4 stars for this. So that is also a form of reward. All right. So you all have done quite well for the first one. We'll quickly come to the second passage. I'll read it once. After that, you all can follow. The second passage. On the surface, which is free from obstacles, such as a clear road or path, only 2 or 3 species of snake can hope to catch up with human being, even if they are foolish to try. A snake seems to move very fast, but its movements are deceptive. In spite of the swift, wave-like motions to its body, the snake crawls along the ground at no more than the speed of man's walk. It may, however, have an advantage inside a jungle, where the progress of a man is obstructed by thorny bushes. But in such places, the footsteps of a man are usually more than enough to warn snakes to keep away. Although they have no ears of the usual kind, they can feel slight vibrations of the ground through their bodies and thus get an early warning of danger. Receptive? Oh, deceptive, right. Deceptive means जो दिख रहा है वैसा है नहीं. So there's a proverb which says appearances can be deceptive, right? इसका मतलब जो जैसा दिख रहा है वैसा है नहीं. And also all that glitters is not gold, right?
It's like an illusion.
Yes, it's like I mean जो भी चमकता है that's not gold, silver, whatever. It's not precious.
If they are foolish to try means
If they fail to try,
if they are foolish to try.
if they are foolish to try, इसका मतलब है you are trying ये जानने के बावजूद भी that you will not succeed if they are foolish enough to try. तो in the first sentence they are saying that humans के साथ pace रखना it's not the work of a snake. Maybe one or two is able to do that even if they are foolish to try. It means बहुत intelligent काम नहीं है that you try keeping up the pace with your humans, right? Okay. Barriers. आप जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो बीच बीच में चेयर अटक आपको इट्स स्टॉपिंग यू सो दैट इज व्हाट ऑब्स्टिकल्स आर. जल्दी. So now who would give me a quick 1, 2, 3 whatever lines you want of summary? No, Shaurya, you have spoken. Other people.
No, deceptive.
जो जैसा दिखता है वैसा है नहीं.
इसमें ना बेसिकली सांपों के बारे में सांप के सामने बट वो वाइब्रेशन ना उस सामने जो भी ऑब्स्टिकल आते हैं ना वाइब्रेशन तो उसको पता चल जाता है. अगर मैन कोई भी मूवमेंट इंसान उसको वो पहले ही वार्न कर
तो डेंजर के बारे में उसे पता चल जाता है. देन
आपको पहले से
अच्छा और there is something more to the passage also.
Different beings come from different abilities. They have the same opportunity to overcome it.
Okay.
And also,
Crawls ऐसे चलना जो बच्चे नीच पे I mean crawls is like okay and what so ये लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं that
जैसे खुला रोड होता है ना तो उस पे ज्यादा ऑब्स्टिकल इसलिए सांप
Right.
को पता नहीं चलता
right
कि कोई मूवमेंट हो कोई
अच्छा
पता
चल जाता है.
वो उसके लिए ज्यादा सूटेबल है.
Okay. And also are snakes are they capable mostly of keeping up with the human pace or are they not? Right. And if the snakes try to keep up with the pace, is that possible? बोलिए बोलिए.
It's just like foolish to try.
Yes.
Is small, it can be run fast, man.
Yeah.
If it is bigger, it will slow his pace.
Right. Right. So the smaller ones are at the advantage, right? अगर the larger it is, the more difficult it is for it. More difficult, right? It's the same for everything, right? The larger, the bigger. I mean, if you want to throw something out of the window, the smaller it is, you can throw it out sooner and faster, right? Okay. बोलिए, you were saying something? Okay. All right. So coming to the first question. The snake has an advantage over men inside the jungle because their
Man's movement is obstructed.
Right. Next one.
Movement of other beings.
Yes. So what helps the snake to receive advance warning in their sensitivity to? Right. Movement of other beings. Okay. So now we'll hop on to the third passage. Anything else that you all, any meaning that you all didn't understand and you all want to ask? All right. So give me 5 synonyms of foolish.
Moron.
My t-shirt speaks.
Yes, ma'am.
I know. Yes. Sorry, a little louder. Okay. Yes.
Nonsense.
Okay. My t-shirt speaks a lot. I get it.
Nonsense.
Yes. Yes. And some more. One was borrowed from the t-shirt.
Useless.
Yes. Useless or foolish is not, I mean, coming in the larger rubric, ठीक है, चल जाता है. Not very specific, but okay.
Dim-witted.
Some more. Think. Sound-minded, that's the very opposite. Fine, since you all have begun with opposite, give me 5 antonyms as well. 5 antonyms of foolish.
Intelligent.
Okay.
Smart.
All right. Give me the antonym of dim-witted, the proper antonym. Dim-witted. अच्छा, dim-witted means is the जिसके पास बुद्धि है नहीं. So give me the antonym of, yes Ashutosh, give me the antonym of dim-witted.
It will resemble the same antonyms.
Proper one, the exact one. Just what would be the opposite of dim?
Genius.
Yes.
Wise.
Sharp-witted. Right. Wise. Okay.
Sensible.
All right.
Conscious.
All right. In the larger rubric, yes. Conscious. नहीं, बहुत लोग कॉन्शियस नहीं होते. जैसे आपको पता है आपको क्लास लेना है, आप सुबह आ रहे हो, यू आर द कॉन्शियस पर्सन. बहुत लोग होते हैं अगले साल बैठ जाएंगे एग्जाम के लिए, चलो लेट मी स्लीप फॉर अ वाइल. कॉन्शियस सब, आई मीन इफ एवरीबडी वुड हैव बीन कॉन्शियस, वॉक ऑन द रोड्स एंड सी people are eating and throwing things. Is that, I mean, is that a picture of being very conscious? Isn't it? All right. So what is the meaning of prudent? Prudent and the opposite is imprudent. So could we apply that? Yes. ICICI Prudential. Yes, I heard. Yes, Prudential. You are going in the right way. Tell. Why do they ask you to invest in that? Why do they ask you to invest? ICICI Prudential. Why do they ask you to invest?
To overcome the further risk.
Yes. So to overcome the risk. So क्या है? If you are overcoming the risk, are you intelligent? So that is what prudent is, है ना? So that is why ICICI Prudential, because you are intelligent to overcome the risk. And imprudent is just the opposite of being prudent. Right? No, I just told you that you are going in the right way. And it's good that you brought up that example, right? Examples should always be begotten from the real life. All right. Coming to the third passage. The rule of always trying to do things as always as one can do them has an important bearing upon the problems of ambition. No man or woman should be without ambition, which is the inspiration of activity. But if one allows ambition to drive one to attempt things which are beyond one's own personal capacity, then unhappiness will result. If one imagines that one can do everything better than the other person, then envy and jealousy, those twin monsters, will come to sadden one's days. But if one concentrates one's attention upon developing one's own special capacities, the thing one is best at, then does not worry over much of if other people are more successful. So a number of prepositions has been used in this passage. Okay, so try giving a quick read and tell me in a line or two what you understand, and then decide a title.
No one is perfect without his ambitions,
Right? Yes, no one is perfect without ambitions.
and
Yes.
nobody is better than you in your own sense.
Mm-hmm.
The ambition.
Okay.
And don't be jealous of some.
Other people, yes. And
Find happiness in your own work.
yes, be contented with what you are and how you are. Yes. And what are the twin monsters?
Envy is something, then it can turn out to be
Okay.
uncomfortable.
Right. Envy and jealousy can get you uncomfortable results. Yes. So क्या होता है? If you are envious about other people, if you are jealous about other people's achievements, what happens?
Confidence down.
Right.
Productivity
Sure.
will not be in a disciplined manner.
Yes.
मैं overthinking कर
Yes. Absolutely. Overthinking करता है और
anxiety,
best
depression.
results.
mm-hmm. अच्छा. Not nice taking dig at your classmates. Not nice. Okay. Okay. And और क्या होता है? Have you all heard about the word inferiority complex? We start suffering from number of complexes.
Like
So
he is better than me.
yes.
Everyone is better.
No one is better than
He
me.
may try to attempt
Yes.
suicide.
Okay, going to the extremes. All right. Yes. So how many of you have watched Batman? So, all right. So did you like it?
Yes, ma'am.
What, did you like it because it was Batman, or was it because it was Robert Pattinson?
I like Batman because of Bruce Wayne.
Yes, Bruce Wayne.
Rob the bank.
All right. Okay. So what else? So what was Batman thinking?
Ma'am,
When the film begins, what was Batman thinking?
the basic thing is Bruce Wayne struggle
Mm-hmm.
to make two different identities, Batman and Bruce Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
while provide security to his
Mm-hmm.
city.
City of Gotham, yes. And
The basic thing in that movie is Bruce Wayne is quite rich.
yes, he is.
So many people in this world think money is the all solution.
Mm-hmm.
So the basic moral of that kind of money is not every time give you solution.
Yes.
So the Bruce Wayne is the perfect
Then you are
example
using it
for
in very bad
money.
manner.
Yes.
You are not using in a
Watch
effective
Batman
way.
to show the bad.
Okay.
best side of it.
Okay. All right, boys. You can have your boys' club fight later. All right. So what? So was he suffering from sort of complex? Was he thinking that he was not doing enough?
He's quite suffering because
Yes.
he's thinking that he's not enough to secure its city,
Provide
Or-
security to the people.
or he can't able to take revenge of his family.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's quite depressing for him.
Him. And how does it end? Does it end on a positive note?
Quite positive for movie, but in
Yes.
real life that doesn't work.
And anyway, we are having a next part, isn't it? So yes. And how did you like the villain?
Ma'am,
Paul Dano. So how was he?
basic thing, villains are also same as like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Story are quite same.
Yes, just one is
the
a.
path you choose is
Mm-hmm.
different. Batman
Yes.
chooses a good path, and those are
He chooses a bad path. Right. So it's often we say villains are people whose stories has not been told yet. Right?
Society makes their villains.
Okay. All right. Yes. So how does ambition relate to that? You just now we talked about ambition.
Ambition is like if you have everything,
Mm-hmm.
if you own everything in this world,
Mm-hmm.
still your ambition is not fulfilled. Because ambition is created
Yes.
by anything you want new in your
Yes.
life or anything
Yes.
you want to do
Right.
by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ambitions can come out there.
Okay. So now someone else, how will you title the passage?
Ability, ambition, desirability.
Title? Um, oh.
Just ambition is not a good
Directed.
ambition. That's
Words of ambition.
Results of ambition, yes.
We can make
Results of ambition, yes.
ambition.
Be ambitious, but no one wants to title it as what Nike says, just do it.
this passage just says no.
Right. And the best part of the t-shirt was I saw one. यहाँ पे there's a Nike का it's the symbol and a panda is sleeping on it and इस नीचे लिखा है just do it. Okay, so that was the best just do it one I saw in the recent times. All right, now quickly coming to the question. Which one of the following alternative brings out the meaning to have a bearing upon clearly? That's an idiom. You have to give me the closest meaning.
Have an effect on.
Okay, to have an effect on, yes. The next one, which one of the following statements is correct? There is a close relationship between ambition and activity. Ambition and activity belong on two different areas. Ambition is useless. Activity is responsible for ambition. Okay, so are all good activities, bad activities, everything dependent on ambition?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever your ambition is used
Mhm.
in that way, your activity will be will be just the reflex of
What your ambitions are. Right. The next one, the statement, if one allows ambition to drive one to attempt things which are beyond one's own personal capacities, then unhappiness will result. Means that one must always try to do less than one's capacity. One must always try to do more than one's capacity. Ambition must be consistent with one's capacity. There should be no ambition at all.
Maybe I'm not clear, but it may be the third one.
Yes, yes, I'll come back to you. What do other people think? Okay.
Because ma'am, he like to compete with others, but not with his ambition.
Ambition must be consistent with one's capacity.
Yes, and any other answers that I get from the class? Right, right. So, yes, that's the answer. Ambitions must be consistent with your capacities. I mean, you are sitting in Delhi and you are dreaming, tomorrow I'll go and climb K2 Godwin Austen. I'll just finish climbing that in a day. And people spend all their lives and multiple failures to climb one Godwin Austen. So if you just sit at Delhi today and you imagine tomorrow I'll go and just jump and climb on it, that's not possible. So it's better to have a bit of consistency. For example, the easiest example is you don't study for the entire year and you go and sit in the exam hall hoping that some miracle will happen and you will pass through the exams.
It will be quite hard.
Right. So that is the kind of ambitions which really doesn't work. Okay. So give me 5 synonyms of consistent.
Rigid.
No, not really. Consistent is like आप एक proper pace maintain कर रहे हो. Okay, not a very good one, but all right.
What about this?
All right. In the larger rubrics, yes. Yes, regular. Yes, Sanjana? Not really.
Centralized.
Centralized is more like centralized and decentralized. It's more like rigid and being flexible. You were thinking in terms of government. Right. But what else? Can we say steady?
Yes, we can say steady.
Steady? Balanced? Yes. Yes. Uh, competitive. That's what you wanted to say. Not really competitive. Consistent is, Shaurya, what were you saying?
Compatible.
Compatible. Not a very good one, but okay. Okay, certainty about something.
We can say maintain.
Maintained, well maintained, yes. Okay. All right. So, what about the next one? Which one of the following statements best reflects the underlying tone of the passage? One must do everything can. Everyone agrees with that opinion?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, are you all doing as best as you all can? Who is this honest person who says no, ma'am? All right. So why are you all not, if I may ask? Why aren't you all? When I live no more to see.
Oh.
Really? Which of the following statements can be assumed to be true? It is good to imagine oneself better than others. One should not imagine oneself always to be better than others. All persons have equal capacity. One should have more ambition than others.
One should not imagine always to be.
All right, read the question carefully. Which of the statements can be assumed to be true? We are working on an assumption, not a fact. Something that has not been given. We are talking about assumption.
All persons have equal capacity.
Right, all persons have equal capacity. Yes. So that's all for today. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're most welcome.